right, welcome back. Now it's time for us to get into some deep conversations. And this one we're looking at infrastructure, road infrastructure. And the residents of Bimbilla are appealing for better roads. Now, all over the country, people are talking about the challenges that they have. If you're watching us in Bimbilla right now, you want to send us a message, please do. Any other part of the country that you're watching us from as well, you can send us a WhatsApp message, 0550-585-832. Now, the hashtag on social media platforms is Breakfast Daily. Let's find out what the challenges are in Bimbilla. Here we have a report for you. Let's take a look.
Bimbilla, which has been upgraded to a municipality, seems to lack the needed infrastructure to facilitate same. Incidentally, the roads in Bimbilla town was constructed in the mid-90s when Dr. Ibn Chambers was the MP. Currently, the roads are in such a bad state that navigating it is rather a problem. The roads have now developed manholes, making driving and riding very difficult. For the newly developed areas, the station is even worse. Some residents in Bimbilla who spoke to City News lament the terrible nature of the roads.
Bimbilla is not a small place. The way Bimbilla is and the way the nature of the roads are is not the best. It is good that day in, day out, we have been witnessing accidents here and there because of these potholes. So it is up to the authorities to be up and doing, to see to it that the roads are constructed.
When you enter into town, you will not be able to find a road which will lead you to your house. We have problem about it. So the government should come out and fix it for us.
A lot of dust and other things is causing problems to our health issues. So we are pleading that government and other agencies who are highly involved in roads, developmental issues and other things to come out and help us.
Even motorbikes that you can maneuver so easily, even they complain of. And then the cars is worse. So a lot of people complain getting into the church through the road leading to the church because of the type of potholes.
Interestingly, drivers in town also face problems in effectively doing their work. One of them shares with City News his frustrations.
Township, we don't have road. There's no road because the lanes that we call roads, there's no construction on it. You can't enter Bimbilla Township. You see people buildings, you see the road going curve, you see buildings. We say they should help us, the government should help us and construct the road for us.
The terrible nature of the roads is compounded with very high-speed ramps, making it more difficult for saloon cars and also physically challenged persons. Azuma Mohammed Kama is a secretary of the physically challenged persons.
It affects us a lot because sometimes when you are to go to some place, like you are on your way to your office, you want to deliver a service to your colleagues. In fact, when you get here, in fact, especially this area, in fact, it's not more trouble. It's not more trouble at all. You mix by motorbikes, yellow drivers, and many others. We are calling for the authorities of the town, especially the Nanumba North Municipal Assembly, to come and do something about it because we, as a physical challenged person, is affecting our daily activities because we are also using the road. And the speed ramps itself is a challenge to us too.
You can see me how I am struggling and how I am breathing just to come here. The potholes in town are too much, particularly on the roadside. We have no any feeder roads in town. The speed ramps are plenty. Before I'll get to the runabout area, I'll get 3 speed ramps, which is not helpful. As a disabled like I am, I have no energy to climb this hill like this with the potholes. The road is very bad.
The municipal chief executive for the Nanumba North, Abdullah Yakub, says plans are underway to work on the town roads.
Somewhere last year, we came out and then patched the potholes, the assembly. We used some gravels to patch the potholes, but it has still gone bad. Yes, I am aware that the MP, who is also the Minister for Defense, have met with the Minister for Roads and Highways. Most of the municipalities in the north and Savannah and northeast are being affected. I know Yindi, they are doing 11 kilometers for Yindi. Wali Wali was done. Currently, they are in Damangu, and I want to assure the good people of the municipality that our share will also come. Those inner roads, within the year, they will come to do some work on them.
Right, so that was the report coming in from Bimbilla, and Mohammed Alabira is our correspondent. He joins us on the phone. Thank you very much for your time on Breakfast Daily, Alabira.
Thank you, Aja Frema.
Right, so tell us more, from the report. I mean, things we did not see in the report and how this road, is really affecting economic activities in the area.
Thank you very much. Bimbilla is the capital of the Nanumba North Municipality. Formerly, it was Nanumba District, which Wulensi was under, but now Wulensi is being separated from Bimbilla, so Bimbilla now is a municipality. In the northern region here, Bimbilla is one of the major towns, but in terms of development, when you come to Bimbilla, it's terrible. Roads in Bimbilla town since 1980s or since I was born, but the roads that new in Bimbilla are the same roads, and now the roads have been terrible. There are manholes on Bimbilla road. No, all the leaders that came, it was under Dr. Mohammed Ibn Chambers in the 1990s, that late or middle 1990s, that the roads in Bimbilla were constructed. Since then, nothing has been done in Bimbilla road, and now potholes, there are many. Right, you can't drive in town, and residents are complaining. Now the town is developing, the inner roads into the communities. So people in communities, when they want to come to wherever, but Bimbilla about the nature of the roads.
Right, so what has been authorities doing about this? What has the conversation been? I don't know if you have been able to even get closer to them to find out what they've done and plans in general for the area.
Yes, thank you so much. When I was filing this report, I actually went to the MC of the area to find out what the authority is doing about this. And he told me that very soon the roads in Bimbilla will be worked on, that they are in engagement with residents to create inner roads, so that very soon it will be worked on. But it is surprising to see just a week after this report was aired, the Eastern Corridor contractors, they are working from Yendi down Bimbilla side. Currently they are in Bimbilla town, and the old roads, the asphalt that Road Scoop. That is what the ministry has got to convey to come and patch the potholes in Bimbilla town, and this angered many residents in town. Actually, when I spoke to residents about it and called the MCE, but then he told me he was on his way to communities. So I called him on phone to find out, because I asked him, Honorable, you told us that soon the roads in Bimbilla will be worked on. Was this the kind of work that we were talking about? He said that better than what we're doing currently, was better than they use gravel to fill the potholes all the time. And actually, residents in Bimbilla were not happy about the development. Since then, so good to say that he called to stop the people that were filling the potholes. He told them to put a stop to it. So, apart from holes that they fill, when I called him, till now they have stopped filling the potholes again, and Bimbilla has gone back to the old one again. Nothing is being done currently about Bimbilla Road.
Right, so it has to get to the residents, to fill the potholes with sand. Is that what you're saying?
That was usually done by the municipal assembly. They will usually, use paper trucks to convey sand to the place then they will ask, they have engineers within the place, they will come to seal it. And that was exactly what they were doing by conveying the scrap tile route from the Eastern Corridor contractors, what they have scooped from the road from Yendi to Bimbilla. That is what they brought to fill in the potholes, and people were not happy. People were not happy about that one.
Now, we can see images of the road, you know, on our screens, and we can see how dusty the roads are, or how the area could be. Now, also paint a picture to us. During rainy season, how is the community like?
It's terrible. If maybe we can go back to our past again. During the rainy season, I saw another story about what's the name? There is a road in Bimbilla called Mataka Road. That is the former regional minister's residence, the road that leads to his place. And the residents there were saying that, oh, he too could have done something about that particular road. But nothing of that sort is done. So in the rainy season, Bimbilla is terrible. You can't walk. If you are on foot, a motor just comes and water or the potholes over you and people. So Bimbilla residents, they are actually complaining and they are appealing to government to look into their eyes.
Right, thank you very much, Alabira. So that was our correspondent, you know, painting a picture of how roads in Bimbilla are currently, and what the assembly needs to do just to make sure that it's a bit more trouble. But he tells us that, you know, during the rainy season is quite bad. If you're walking, you have a problem. If you're on a motorbike, you have a problem. If you are driving, you have a problem. So, I mean, in short, in rainy season, the roads cannot be used. Yeah. This is the situation.
Frema, in 2009, I used that road.
Okay.
Between Yendi and Bimbilla. It's horrible. I'm surprised that all these years after, I'm still seeing these kinds of images because it just brings back memories.
Yeah.
You know, it's the kind of thing where if you wear any kind of light-colored shirt, okay, you are doomed.
Yeah.
Because the journey is such that by the time you get to the end, listen, you are not safe because you've rolled up windows and you're in air conditioning. Red dust seeps through the aircon.
I've been...
It's not a joke.
In 2 years, 3 years ago, we're up north, you know, in the Yendi area and its environs. And when you are walking, you know, when you set your foot on the ground, it sinks into dust.
It's powder. It's
exactly, you know. So I mean, there's nothing like be careful.
No.
You can't be too careful, you know, with this. And I think that, you know, a lot of these things have their own toll on economic activities in this area.
And health.
Absolutely, you know, but it all comes back to the same thing because now you have to gather all your monies. I mean, how much are you getting? You know, because if roads are bad, it affects everything, and everything is about the road. So if you have to deal with all these things, the later you're fixing your vehicles, you're paying extra for transportation. Now you don't feel healthy, and then you can go. How much, you know, do you have to pay on making sure that you are safe? How are hospital, infrastructure like in these areas? Do they even have access to all these things? So you realize that because of the road, it has its own ripple effects, you know, on all these other aspects of life. And I think that is sometimes, you know, when we are talking about roads, honestly, I don't even know how to now appeal, you know, to government because you realize that Greater Accra is having the same problems. Ashanti region has the same problem. Almost every part of Ghana has issues with roads. How do we get around this?
Frema, you know, in the year 2000, and I shared this experience when Samens joined us a few weeks ago on the set, how that I sort of became aware, you know, of how that road problems are not global. There are certain areas that have road problems, others don't have road problems. Because they built their roads. They've decided that we can't stand that, so we will build our roads everywhere.
In the morning when you're going to work, you realize that portions of the road have been cordoned off. You know, by evening, they're working. By evening, there's nothing there. You wouldn't even know that there was a problem here. And I think that we always talk about our maintenance culture. All right. So we construct the new road. We notice a pothole. We leave it. Another pothole comes. We ignore them. So in about 2 years, the whole road is mixed up. one, we have to ask ourselves, what was the quality of the road? You know, how come we construct roads and in 2-3 years,
We are having
asphalts are
challenges
coming
with it.
off?
Yes.
You know, what exactly do
Yes.
we, I mean, what is the agreement? What do we agree, you know, on features of the road?
Yes.
Who is supposed to supervise
And who is
this?
signing off
How
on
come
roads that are poor
how
quality?
come a contractor would just construct the road,
Yeah.
you know, in a few years, the road is messed up and nothing is being done. And we'll come back in 5 years' time and we are still talking about these same problems, you
Yeah.
know, and then we have to find another money to go and fix the road.
So to give a little bit of perspective for those who don't really appreciate what we're talking about here, because maybe your roads have never been done anyway, so you don't even know what it's like to have proper road versus not,
Yeah.
you know. And then some of you live in places like ridge and cantonments, and you've never seen terrible
You know the
roads,
conversation
right?
we're having yesterday. I'm sure there are some kids, you know, you talk to
They-
them
they-
about bad roads. They don't
have no
understand
idea.
because if you live in cantonments
Yeah.
and you go to school
Yeah.
somewhere
Morningstar.
in GIS,
Yes, or
you know,
GIS.
and you go to church
I mean,
maybe around the Richchurch area, you know.
Or Christ the King.
Oh, you know, so
Yeah.
so when
You don't know
we in
bad
Awoshi
roads.
and Kaswa are talking
talking.
about roads,
Yeah. Ablekuma.
you know, you
Yeah.
struggle to follow the
Appreciate,
conversation
yeah.
because you go like, what are they talking
What are they
about?
talking
you know?
about? Yeah.
But there are other people who also do not even drive a kilometer of
Of
good
good road. They've
roads,
never
you know, because
experienced it.
I
Yeah.
mean, in their lives, everything is that
It's real.
bad.
It's real. Look, listen. The experience I told you about the UK. I left Ghana. You know, as you are going, you should prepare yourself well. You know, so I polished my shoes nicely, and then I sat on the plane. Do you know that was the last time I polished my shoes till I came back to Ghana?
You even forget that you clean shoes.
It was surreal.
Yeah.
I literally did not polish my. No, I was using it to go
Of
to
course.
work and to church and things. So I
yes.
did not polish my shoe.
You forget that
again.
there's something called clean
Dust
your shoes.
and clean your
you know?
shoe.
Oh, polish
When
your
I
shoe.
arrived in Ghana, I arrived in the evening. The following morning, as I was going out, to say it's like I looked down and I said, "Oh Lord,
Welcome home."
yes."
Yeah,
Because the
yeah,
first
yeah.
3 minutes of leaving my house, my shoe already needed cleaning.
No, some
But for
people
6
have
weeks, I
really
hadn't
developed
cleaned
their
it.
countries. You know, some people have really developed their countries, and for me, I think that is a big indictment on us. You know,
That's the thing.
We carry our bags and
Yeah.
say that we want to go on
Yes,
holidays here,
yes.
and we go and we come back and
Yes,
we feel good, and we
yes,
want people to
yes.
respect us because we can afford to go on holidays.
But why
in
should
areas
anybody
like
respect
that.
you? Because
No.
you've not
No,
taken care
you
of your
know,
backyard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, we have leaders who every year will carry their wife and children, you know, or husbands and children, and fly out on family vacations.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But what I think is there are a lot of places in Ghana that if our roads were that good, we
Yeah.
will enjoy them as well.
Thank you.
You go to Western region,
Yeah.
we've got beautiful resorts. You know,
Yeah.
fantastic places
Yeah.
that you really love
Almost
to.
every town has huge potential
Beautiful
for
stuff,
amazing
you understand?
touristic.
But access to these areas,
Yeah.
you know, we talk about people patronizing domestic tourism, you know, but sometimes transportation is the turn-off.
Yeah.
You know, because if I am going to a tourist site, you know, if I want to go to a holiday destination, you know, go and have fun, why do I want to stress myself with traveling to that
Yeah,
place, you know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you look at all these things and you realize it's not worth it. You know, if you can afford it, just fly out.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think
because in a certain sense, if you think about it, really, I mean, and I don't want to belabor the issue, but think about this: if you decide that you want to go to, let's say, Zena Lodge,
Yeah.
right, for holiday for a week, right, you're going to fly, if you choose to, from Accra to Tamale.
Yeah.
Then you're going to hit the road, right? If you use the road to go, right, you will find out that the road trip, I mean, it's better than it used to be, but it's not a good one, right? All the way to Mole, right?
You know, so the DC for Bimbilla is on, Abdullah Yakub.
Yakub,
And
yeah.
thank you very much for your time, Mr. Yakub.
Thank you very much.
So what are authorities telling you, you know, regarding the bad nature of roads in Bimbilla, and when are they coming to fix them for you?
Yes, the other time the Minister for Roads was in Bimbilla, in the region, we had an opportunity to interact with him.
Okay.
And he promised that the town roads will be asphalted somewhere this year. And for currently, they've done Yindi, Damongo, and Walawale. I know we are also a municipality.
Yeah.
And my MP is doing that. He has taken it up with the road minister to make sure that that place, that the inner roads in Bimbilla are also fixed. That's what I know. But what we do as an assembly is that when the situation gets out of hand as it is, we normally get some gravels and fill the potholes so that at least those PWDs who are on tricycles can apply. So that's what we've been doing. So by this time around, it is above us. So we have made an appeal to the road minister to come to our aid, and we have had a very positive response from him.
So what are the timelines that you've been given?
Yes, the timelines from now up to the end of the year.
Okay, you're expecting men on the ground between now and the end of the year.
Yes. This is what I was told.
Okay.
So we are aware of the situation, and something is being done about it.
Okay. What do you do as an assembly regarding the roads that are completely untarred in terms of grading, in terms of watering, so that it becomes, the Harmattan season, particularly in the northern parts of Ghana, can be pretty harsh, and the roads will be extra dry and extra dusty. How do you manage that? In terms of
as for the potholes, what we do is that we get gravel and fill.
Yes.
But we have a contractor on the Bimbilla Salga road that's quite dusty.
Yes.
And as I speak to you, the contractor is currently in town trying to shape it, and then he waters, and then he came yesterday to fix that part of the town.
Okay.
And we also are coming to construct inner roads in Bimbilla. As I speak to you, the surveyors are done with their work, and we are marking the houses that are coming to be affected in the creation of the inner roads.
Okay.
So today they are continuing. So the place will be opened up, and I'm sure a little more roads will come to us and then to be tarred.
Okay. What would you say is the percentage of tarred roads you have in Bimbilla? Do you have more than half of your roads tarred, or we say less than half?
No, we don't. We have to ask how many inner roads do we have. The only roads that we have are those that are tarred, but it's not in percentage-wise. I can say that just a little bit of about 2 or 3%.
Wow.
I see.
Well, the area needs to open up. We don't have access roads into the various areas, central areas, and that is what we are trying to do.
Yeah.
And we started marking the houses, and I'm sure by the end of this week the marking will have been done to engage the owners, and then when we start.
Okay.
Right. So how do you think this is affecting economic activities in the area?
Certainly, it is affecting because this is a municipality. People buy their vehicles, and their vehicles cannot reach their homes. See, so it has been a long-standing problem that we all collectively will have to solve as a municipality. When people build with their recourse to the assembly, they build haphazardly. And these are things that we want to correct by making sure that you cannot put up a structure without the approval of the committee of the assembly. So we are doing our best to get this problem fixed so that the rules will have access to every part of the municipality.
So, I think I heard something you said just now, and I want a clarification. You're saying that you are marking the houses. And does that mean that there are people who have built in places that is supposed to be a road, and then you may have to relocate some of them to be able to construct the road?
Yes, that's what we come to do. What people have built on areas that they are not supposed to build.
Okay.
So we try to create those inner roads in the municipality. So we have to do some demolitions.
Okay.
So that we can get the roads in the various areas.
Okay.
So we want to engage. We want to do it for human faith. We want to engage them, see whether we can help them somehow to put up their structures so that the roads can be constructed.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we've been speaking with the DCE, Abdullahi Yakub. He's been giving us a sort of like a sense of what they within their municipality are taking care of over there. Frema, it's challenging. I think that we should, again, we come back to this conversation of a national plan and all those things. Sometimes it's almost like you're beating a dead horse, because it's like government after government seem to have their own plans, right? But it's politically driven, right? I don't know what we need to do to be able to have a national plan that all governments plug into, to say that I will take this part and work on it. I will take this part and work on it
But
when
we
I
have
come.
the plans. What was the national development?
So
you see, I think that the problem is
the plan with timelines. You see.
So you see, the plan is there.
Yeah.
But like you are talking about, when we have a kind of governance system, when things are driven by partisan politics, this is where the problem lies. So instead of, for instance, President Kufuor started ABC. This is where he left off. Now, President Mahama is on. He needs to continue from C to maybe L. Now, Akufo-Addo is on. President Akufo-Addo is on. He needs to take it from L
and
to maybe P. But the issue is, because we don't know whether as a country it is education that we want to pursue, it is health we want to pursue, it is infrastructure we want to pursue. The issue is, now you realize that NPP comes, they want education. NDC comes, they want infrastructure. This person comes, I want health. So we don't really have a proper commitment to, the blueprint that we probably have. So we are just doing things and how we think would give us political points.
And it's unfortunate. We have engineer Muhammad Abdullahi. He's a road building consultant. Engineer Abdullahi, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing?
David.
Yes, it's been a while. Good to hear from you. You've been in this. Oh, I haven't. And Happy New Year to you anyway.
Many happy thanks. I'm just watching you.
All right. So give us a sense. You've been in this space for a while, trying to understand what's the challenge when it comes to having all our roads done. Is it something that we can ever hope for as a road, building engineer? Is it something we can ever expect to happen, that one day we will say that all roads in Ghana have been built? Now, what we are doing is maintaining the roads.
Well, good morning to your viewers. The construction of roads in the country are capital intensive. When you are doing a dual road, let me say a 2-lane in, 2-lane out, ideally. I've always been bashing people not to be specific with the figures. But if you look at a 1 kilometer in an ideal situation of a 2-lane in, 2-lane out, asphalt binder concrete, it's in the region of about 3.5 to 3.8 million United States dollars per 1 kilometer.
1 kilometer, okay.
So just like from City TV to before Paloma.
Yes.
That's almost about 2 kilometers. So that's easy to like Circle or just beyond Circle, like Vodafone. That's about 3.8 million United States dollars.
Okay.
So that is quite a huge amount of money.
Yes.
So if we finish a road, say lot 1, and we move to lot 2, or we go to another region and we start. If the roads are not done so well, and they don't live their lifespan, let's say 15 to 20 years, and within 5 years they are getting damaged or they are getting destroyed.
Yes.
You mean that you are always marking time, because you're in as much as you are trying to cover a certain distance.
Yes.
The back has already started deteriorating.
Yeah.
And so that is the challenge we're going to have, because first, government depends on so much tax and funds to get the roads to be constructed.
Yes.
And if they are not properly supervised or constructed, you have this challenge. Let me be open in one sentence. I did I supervise the road from Accra, that's Pantan Junction,
Okay.
to Ayimensa,
Okay.
to Pediase.
Yes.
That's an asphalt.
Okay.
Now, from Pediase Lodge,
Mm-hmm.
if you are coming down the area to Kitase,
Yes.
Jankama, Ebri,
I know that road very well.
Ashirasi, all the way to Mansi,
Okay.
is the cheapest road.
Yes.
But it has stayed for 16 years.
Wow.
So I'm always boastful. I just like, let me use like,
Yeah.
that if we can be able to do in terms of the category of roads that we have done, like the concrete road is the most expensive,
Yes.
followed by the asphalt,
Yeah.
and followed by the surface dressing.
Yeah.
That road you see from Kitasi to Mansi is a surface, in terms of the category, it comes last.
Okay.
And so if the road has stayed for 15 years and is still as new as yesterday,
Yeah.
then if we're able to get consultants and contractors supervising such roads, even though they are relatively cheaper, but they can stand the test of time for like at least 20 to 25 years,
Yes.
then we can cover quite a distance before some of the roads will start to deteriorate. And let me just add one more thing. That type of road ideally is supposed to stay for like 5 years.
Okay. Oh, I
The
see.
Australians, yes, that's
Wow.
in terms of the category.
Yes.
Within 5 years, the road is expected to start to have series of
Challenges.
defects.
Yeah.
So, but
Wow.
if this road was completed in 2007, 2007, we're in 2022,
Yeah.
and the road is as new as just yesterday,
Yeah.
then we should. That's why if you CTFM and CCTV have actually bulleted some of the things I've said on my Twitter handle, that
Yeah.
we should start to blacklist contractors
I
and
agree.
consultants
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
who are known to have a record of doing, let me say, road that does not live a lifespan.
Yes.
Yet, ironically, they are getting huge jobs each day and out. So
Yeah.
who is keeping the records of
Of-
such contractors
Yeah.
who will finish a road, and just after the deferred liability period, the roads start to go bad. And then these people are the ones who are getting huge contracts.
More contracts,
Either because
yeah.
of their affiliation with a political bigwig.
Okay.
And for me,
Yeah.
I've gotten to a stage where we don't have to hide behind any shadow
Yeah.
and speak. Because
Of
Ghana
course.
is for the two of us.
Yeah.
And I have said this over and over, that we will not sit down
Yeah.
to allow this to happen. But one of the major disincentives, I just heard the MC speaking in the Bimbilla there.
Yes.
They are the same problem who are creating disincentive, or they are discouraging government
Explain.
to do construction. You see, when you are constructing, say, a kilometer of a road, which can cost, let's say, $3 million, and you are supposed to demolish houses, huge houses, which will cost the region of $1.something million.
Yeah.
That alone is a disincentive.
Okay.
Now you ask yourself, who are those who are watching
Approved,
or sleeping when such buildings are being constructed?
Okay.
It's the same assembly.
Okay.
In the wisdom of the captains of the law, the government at the head office, or let me say the seat of government in Accra, cannot have its eyes across the country.
Yeah.
That is why we have put in officialdom,
Yeah.
people at the district assemblies, the municipal assembly, who have a planning committee, who are supposed to vet every drawing that comes to their table for consideration and approval.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you see that these things are happening along the corridors, and people are putting up houses along the right of way,
Yeah.
and the assembly is not acting, that alone is a disincentive to
Engineer.
government to come and construct those houses,
Yeah.
to demolish those houses and then construct them, the
Okay.
roads.
Engineer,
Right.
thank you
Right.
so much. Your insight is invaluable. We really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we've been speaking with Engineer Muhammad Abdullahi, who is a road building consultant. He's actually built one of the first-class roads, I would say. I mean, he was just mentioning that road was supposed to last 5 years.
Yeah.
It's lasted 16 years. And when
And it's still very solid.
And when
It doesn't
I
look
drive,
like we're
when
gonna
I
have
drive on
issues.
that
Yeah.
road, it's one of the roads I drive on most frequently.
Yeah.
And when I drive on that road, I don't get a sense of this is not a good road.
Of course.
It actually, I enjoy
Considering
it.
how the road
Exactly.
is.
You know.
No, I agree with him. And, another thing that he also mentioned that I think is very, very key is the fact that, we just supervise people to do all kinds of things and then spend money again. That has always been my issue, So the road is not constructed properly. Then after 3 years, we still have to go find money and then come and
we don't punish the people who
absolutely.
We give them more, we reward them by giving them more contracts.
Nothing really deters them, from not doing the right thing the next time, because they will get contracts again. And we also supervise people to build anyhow, and then we still come back to find money, to go demolish them, and then we have to find places for them to be and all this. I think that we really need to, the way we spend money, seriously needs to be looked at, because we just watch people bring in kiosks, they put them in residential areas where they're not supposed to be. In the middle of the road, people are just putting things anywhere.
And then later
we say nothing. in some few years, we have a community. Now we need to clear these people from developmental projects, and then they are demanding compensation. Why do we have to put ourselves through this anyway?
Anyway.